Do you feel like your life is spiraling horribly out of control and you don't know how to unspiral it and nothing is going right for you? Well, you're in the correct place. Let's begin. First of all, I just want to begin this video with a special moment of appreciation for my mic. This is the new mic that I got and I really like it. It's really small and compact. It's doing the job for me in all aspects of my life. Like every single aspect of my life is improved because of this mic. I wake up and all the food tastes better, all the sounds sound better. All the things I see, they're just more beautiful. It's like I'm on psychedelics. That's the effect that this mic has. It's beautiful. It is. So, anyway, today I want to talk about the trials and tribulations of not knowing what you want to do with your life. So when we're going through this moment in our lives where we're like, I don't know what I want to do, everything seems like the wrong choice because if I choose something, then I'm missing out on something else, So it seems like no choice is the correct one because it would detract from another, if that makes sense. So we're faced with all these choices or no choices, and nothing seems like the right move forward. So we are left depressed and anxious about our futures. But that's not going to fly for this new year. And I'm telling myself this as well. Like, we're not going to let our bounty or lack thereof of choices stop us from being happy. Let's dive into that, because if you guys have read The Fig Tree by Sylvia Plath, you know that it goes a little something like this. And if you haven't read it, then consider this a story time. So basically, there's this girl or guy, and they see a fig tree sprouting out before them. And there's so many figs to pick from. And they're like, which fig do I choose? Because there's such a bounty of figs. And this is meant to mirror the amount of choices that we have in life, and how if we spend too much time thinking about all of our choices, then we're not going to choose any of them. Just like how they didn't pick any of the pears or the figs because they all looked really like juicy and delectable. That's the same analogy for life choices and life paths, and how we tend to not choose a life path because of the fear of missing out on another. And this is something that I personally really struggle with, especially right now. I think the main ways that a person can deal with the duality what the the struggle of choosing something in their life, especially when they're at like a crossroads, college, career, family, just like all these life milestones where you have to make choices about that. I think that you can either not make a choice and continue to rot. I'm looking at myself right now, because you can either not make a choice and continue to waste away in your prison, both physical and mental, and you don't make any choices. And I think that is probably the worst thing you can do, but the most comfortable. So you're going to be comfortable in your bed and you're going to be comfortable in your mindset because you're not making any choices really to change your predicament or your situation. It might not be a predicament to you because you might be like, oh, it's my year of rest and relaxation. And see, I believe there is a place for rest and relaxation, but when it is coming at the cost of your mental health and your happiness, is it really rest and relaxation? It kind of just seems like, yeah, rotting, like the decaying of your physical and mental body. So you could choose to rot away forever and not make any choices. Yes. And nobody's going to stop you, really. When you are an adult, this is the sad truth, and it's hard. You have to look after yourself. I know it's horrifying. It really is. Your second choice is to make a choice about your life. And a lot of people typically call this impulse choices, but I really call it like just living life being crazy. If you randomly choose like, oh, I want to travel, okay, you have to have money for this, first of all. So I would say before you make these impulse choices, save up money. So they might not be super impulse because you're going to be saving up and preparing to make these choices, but you do have to be prepared to make life jumps like this one. Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to leave the country for 2 months and travel and just feel like in touch with myself. I understand the beautiful appeal in that. I do. But you need to like be prepared. Okay, so there's that option where you could just take that jump, and I commend you if you take that choice, because a lot of people are scared to make jumps in their lives because it can come at the cost of quite a few things: financial stability, your relationships that you've built with some friends and family, like proximity. A lot of relationship building is due to proximity. So if you're not close to these people, then you might possibly be at a loss for some friendships and relationships. And that's never really great. Well, maybe it is great if you're looking to do some spring cleaning on your relationships and people needed to leave. Anyway, yeah, there are quite a few things that you could lose from making these kind of impulse decisions, but it's really, you have to lose some to gain some. So you're going to lose a lot of your old connections and community, which is sad, but you're going to gain probably all of that back and more if you well, you might not, but you possibly will gain all of that back and more. But at the same time, there's like the dilemma of stability. Okay, you have to take stability into account, because without stability, and this is just basics: housing, food, daily hugs. I don't know, I feel like daily hugs are kind of like an essential. But if you don't have these things, then it can become dangerous for you or for others, I guess, because you might not be in the safest of conditions. Always strive for stability, but also strive for happiness. These two things, stability and happiness, are really like all that you need in this life. Again, stability is incredibly important, and making sure that you're prepared for these jumps in your life is also very important. So I don't know. If you're the kind of person who like doesn't care about stability and you're like, oh, I'll figure it out when I get there, like blah blah blah, it all works out for me, then that's great. But I am a little bit more frightened than that kind of person. So you could continue rotting, make that impromptu choice, or you could let that choice cook, let it simmer for a couple years. When you put things on the back burner, it gives you time to really solidify what you want to do. I think people who put stuff on the back burner are smart, but just making sure that you have that foundation and something to also fall back on in case it doesn't go completely ideally is kind of the goal. But yeah, those are the kind of three main choices that you can make. You could continue to be stagnant and rot centric. You could also just be that impromptu kind of crazy kind of person and just make these choices right off the bat. So you could say, I'm taking a gap year, I'm traveling, I'm reattending university, I'm dropping this career and choosing another one. I actually advocate for this one the most, because I think if we don't make major movement towards what we want to do, then we're never really gonna get towards what we want to do. Like, it takes these kind of really big leaps to get us to what we really want to do in life. So number 2 is Sam approved. So yes, once you have implemented these nuggets of wisdom into your life, you definitely will see some change, or not if you follow the first one. Oh, let me crinkle this paper towel. Did that do anything? I don't really know. Hello. Don't call me a murderer, but here's the bottom half of Miffy. Okay? And here's the top. This wasn't on purpose. I'm not a murderer like that. It's a Snoopy. And I know like everybody's obsessed with Snoopy right now, but call me one of them, because it's just not the cutest thing ever. Like, he just kind of sits on the couch like this. Not the couch, the fridge. It's the small things. Okay, I think that's gonna be all for me for this video. rant is over. Hopefully this moment of uncertainty ends soon for you. I'm hoping it ends soon for me because it really is like the trenches, and I understand you. I see you. Also, like the sun is coming out right now, so I think that means that life is beautiful. I'm going crazy because why was I just spouting the most inspirational words and then the sun came out? With the addition of this little mic, I'm going to be doing more talking videos just because now you can hear my yapping in 4K. 4K for your ears, I guess. Because the audio before, it was really, really bad. It was really bad, guys. And I know that you can't hear anything I'm saying, but now you can hear it all. Now I'm going to go walk to the library and I'm going to study. And I'm also going to drop off a book that I just read called, I actually can't remember, but it was really good. Sending love. Bye.